You know NXT sucks when the best thing on the show was a Chase U segment. And to be fair, he wrestled Giovanni Vinci. Did Andre Chase. I wasn't expecting any change tonight for NXT. I don't think anybody should be expecting any change, period. I've been very, very upfront with you guys about change. We're not going to be seeing change. Not yet, anyway. And I'm not really sure we are going to see change on Tuesday night. We need to see change on Tuesday night because if I'm a betting man, which I'm not, if I was a betting man, I'd probably bet a large sum of money on Triple H because I know he thinks this product sucks. NXT is building towards their next major television show, Heatwave. And NXT has a pay-per-view on the same day as All Out. I wonder which one you're going to be watching. Anyway, guys, we're going to go over the news today. We're going to go over everything that happened on this show tonight, if you actually care, which I know most of you don't. But I'll tell you what I care about, man. I'm going to the OTS venue, and there I'll be opening up some cold beverages, which I hope you guys have already beat me to the punch. I got one question, though, man. What the fuck are you guys drinking? I'll see you over there.
Is AEW successful? Why is Tony Khan running his promotion better than Vince McMahon and Bruce Pritchard are running Monday night and Friday night? Long-term booking.
Guys, thank you so very much for joining me right here on Off the Script. This is your NXT post show for July 26th, 2022. I am your host, JD from New York, as always, coming to you from the OTS Beer Garden. Thank you guys so very much for joining me on your Tuesday afternoons, wherever you may be. You know, Monday Night Raw last night, we didn't really see a lot of change on the show. We seen little nuggets of Triple H And I said on last night's show that the show was probably written before the announcement, believe it or not. The show was probably written before Triple H and the announcement of him taking over creative completely was made. And we saw largely the same Monday Night Raw that we usually see week in and week out. It was definitely a Vince McMahon, Bruce Pritchard-esque Monday Night Raw. But Triple H, on the day of being announced as head of creative for all of WWE, he got in there and he made some subtle changes to the show. Some subtle changes. And we went over all of that last night on the podcast. People watching TV the right way and things kind of cohesively bleeding into one another. That's not typically the way that they do things on Monday night. Just look at that first hour. Just look at that first hour on Monday night. We went from Miz and Logan Paul to Roman Reigns, Paul Heyman, Austin Theory. Out comes Drew McIntyre. McIntyre obviously has staked claim for the World Championship at Clash at the Castle. He wrestled Austin Theory last night in what was a decent match. And then we go to a DQ, which is the Bruce specialty, the Vince specialty DQ. Then Sheamus, Butch, and Ridge Holland come out. And we get their build against McIntyre, which kind of takes care of the build for Friday and their no DQ match. And then we get the McIntyre and Theory match turned into a tag team match. Once again, a Bruce special. But Roman Reigns and Paul Heyman were out before all of that. After the tag team match was over, the Usos and Roman Reigns come out to address Austin Theory. Things bled into each other, one after the other. That is very much what Triple H did on NXT when he was in charge of the black and gold. Little things like that. Little things like commentary felt a little bit more organic. Promos, depending on who you are, will be sounding a little bit different. I didn't get a sense of any of that. I didn't get a sense of any of that on NXT tonight. Now, I wasn't expecting any drastic change to NXT 2.0, but I was hoping for maybe the same subtle changes, the same minor changes that we got on Monday night. I thought we'd get some of that at least tonight on NXT, and we did not. Largely, this show was absolutely missable. You missed nothing. I even had Jesse text me because, believe it or not, a lot of people are reaching out to me. JD, is it safe to come back? Is what's going on really going to usher in a new era, a change that we've all desperately desired for WWE? I can't answer that question yet. I do have optimism. I do. My optimism with WWE right now is at an all-time peak. It's at an all-time high. I do think Triple H is going to change things for the better. It cannot get any worse. I've had people tell me, oh, JD, with Triple H being announced as head of creative, I've now watched the product for the first time in 5 years, 6 years. Some people have been telling me that they haven't watched anything since the Yes era, the Yes movement with Daniel Bryan. I had someone tell me he hasn't watched since the Attitude era. And that's a long fucking time. But Jesse texted me tonight, and he was even interested in what was going on with NXT because he knows how Triple H operates. And he knows what Triple H just as much as I do. He loved that show just as much as I do. But he knows exactly what Triple H is capable of, and even he asked me today, was NXT any different out of curiosity because of the announcement of Triple H? I said no. I will tell you, and you will know. Believe me, you all will know when things are different. But nothing tonight really presented itself as different because of Triple H. And the show was probably largely written before Triple H even took over. There wasn't really much that he could do or change But I was hoping for subtle changes like we got on Monday Night Raw. Cohesive, just into each segment, bleeding into one another. That's continuity. We didn't get any of that. It felt like a run-of-the-mill NXT episode. Will there be change to NXT? That was my big thing today. I was more excited to watch NXT tonight, not because of what was on the show, but because of the announcement of Triple H. Now, I'm not a betting man. I'm not a betting man at all. But I would put up a large sum of money in any form of bet, and I would bet the house that Triple H thinks that this show is a steaming pile of garbage. Triple H himself knows this show sucks. I am absolutely 100% on that statement. There's no way that he thinks this show is good. None. His entire brand got fucking completely erased. Everything that he built was erased. Triple H, apparently to the geeks out there, was running NXT. Triple H wasn't running anything. Shawn Michaels wasn't running anything. Nobody was running anything, man. It was Vince and Bruce Pritchard. That's who was running NXT. If anybody told you that Shawn Michaels was running NXT, it's only a cover-up for the truth. Shawn Michaels had nothing to do creatively with this show. He's simply sitting backstage in Gorilla with a headset, taking orders from Bruce Pritchard. The script was handed to Bruce Pritchard, and Bruce Pritchard made the final say on everything. Triple H had nothing to do with NXT. Everybody says, oh, well, you know, Triple H was the man behind the decision to go 2.0. He okayed. No, he didn't. He didn't okay shit. Triple H had nothing to do with 2.0. Nothing. He didn't dream it. He didn't breathe it. He didn't want it. William Regal said, oh, it was always the plan to do NXT 2.0. No, it wasn't. There was no plan for 2.0 coming out of anybody on Triple H's team. Nick Khan was wanting to go younger. Nick Khan wanted to slash budget. Nick Khan wanted to fire all of the old heads in NXT. Vince McMahon and Bruce Pritchard took Triple H's fucking NXT and killed it. You guys know the story because of his failure to beat AEW. They punished Paul Levesque. You can't do it, now it's mine, and we're going to show you exactly what we want done. They took away all the hiring process that Triple H had brought into the company. No more indie wrestlers. Everybody's got to be of a certain criteria. They can't be under 6'2". They can't be under 220 pounds. They can't be over the age of 30. None of this was Triple H. This was all a collective idea of Bruce Pritchard, Vince McMahon, Nick Khan, and John Laurinaitis. That was it. And if you think otherwise, get the fuck out of here. I don't even want you here. Because then you're just disrespecting Triple H and everything that he did. But does NXT change? It needs to change. NXT 2.0 was created because they wanted to go younger. NXT 2.0 was basically Vince McMahon's playground. Think back to NXT. Everything about NXT Black and Gold was perfect. The way that they cultivated talent was perfect. The way that they introduced talent was perfect. The way that they built talent up on television. They made more superstars. Triple H had a hand in creating more superstars in this generation than Vince McMahon has. He knew it. Vince knew it. The fans knew it. The fans were attracted to what Triple H was doing, not because it was a super indie, not because he was filling a void or trying to grab the audience that WWE seemingly has lost. That came to them with what they were doing with NXT just because of the way NXT was presented. It was professional wrestling. They didn't fill no fucking void. They didn't go out there and, stake their claim into some niche audience. This is a professional wrestling company. WWE is a professional wrestling company. Their biggest event has the word wrestle in it. World Wrestling Entertainment. It may be in the name of the company. It may be in the name of their marquee event, But they deviated away so far from pro wrestling that Triple H realized we're missing that fucking core fan base that has fucking abandoned us for God knows how long. I got to get them back. We built this fucking company on pro wrestling. That's what Triple H's vision was. That's what NXT was, to build for the future. And then it transformed into what I think was the greatest brand in all of North America, all of the world, with what he did with Black and Gold. But 2.0 was created, and the hiring process was changed from what Triple H had it to Vince McMahon basically having a say in everything and everyone who he wanted on television. NXT and the process of Black and Gold, how many guys? I can't even list them all. I'm sure you guys know who they are. Half of them, or if not 90% of them, are working for AEW. The hiring process for WWE was simple when Triple H was there. He made more stars than any time in this current era. More so than Bruce and Vince McMahon. They didn't know what to do with Triple H's fucking talents. They didn't know what to do with Triple H's talent. Called up, buried. Called up, wasted. Called up, fired. You'd be lucky if anybody slipped through the cracks and they wanted anybody from NXT. So all of that went away. And 2.0 was created for Vince McMahon to have his own little personal playground, get talent from NXT ready that already had Vince McMahon's approval and would seemingly succeed on the main roster because Vince was in that process already. Vince was in the trenches. Vince was, leading NXT through Bruce. Or Bruce, I should say, was leading NXT in the way, in the vision that Vince McMahon wanted it. They were getting people that they wanted ready. They were getting people presented the way that they wanted to be presented before they made it to the main roster, so their success rate was going to be a little bit higher than if this was Triple H doing it with Black and Gold, and then they made it to the main roster. And you all know why that failed, because they didn't have a hand in it. They didn't want anybody to succeed on their show that was born and bred by Triple H. That would mean that they're doing their job incorrectly. That would mean that they're inferior to Paul Levesque, and they didn't want that. They didn't want that at all. But NXT 2.0 needs to change. Is the hiring process going to change? Is the way the talent is cultivated going to change? Are we now looking at true change when it comes to NXT? We may not see change for a long time on Tuesday night, but there is going to be change. The change is already getting me excited because Triple H has already changed the hiring process. Yes, there will be an NIL program. There will be an NIL program, and they're still going to go out and get their failed athletes that now want to make it in the world of pro wrestling because they got nothing else better to do. They'd rather pro wrestle than go fucking barista at Starbucks. Even though that's not really that bad of a job. I quite enjoyed that when I did it. I was damn good at it, too. But the NIL program is still going to be there. They're going to do what they got to do. They're going to bring in their Gable Stevensons, and they're going to bring in their fucking UFC fighters and cheerleaders and amateur pro wrestlers and WNBA superstars. That's fine. That's fine. But Triple H realizes, and I said this from day one, you're not going to find an overnight sensation that knows what the fuck they're doing and is TV ready in 1 year. Triple H brought in so many talents that were already ready to go. All they needed was TV exposure. All they needed was repackaging as far as getting them in front of the camera, giving them a nice theme, giving them a nice entrance, having them work the camera because WWE's production is on another level. They were already ready to go. So it was easy to take an Adam Cole. It was easy to take a Swerve. It was easy to take a Keith Lee. It was easy to take an Andrade and a Johnny Gargano, a Tommaso Ciampa and a Kevin Owens and a Shinsuke Nakamura and just put them out on television. They've already had years of roads traveled, years of experience in the ring. There wasn't much that needed to be done there. Change is already in the air in NXT. It might not be present on Tuesday night. But the simple fact of the matter is, we are going to go back to that. It's not going to be 100% strictly that. It's going to be that. It's going to be whoever they think has a great look. amateur wrestlers and cheerleaders and football players. It's going to be a mixture of everything. Vince McMahon shunned independent professional wrestling. They didn't want anything to do with bringing in an Adam Cole or a Jonathan Gresham or anybody like that. And now that's going to change with Triple H in charge. This coming weekend, there will be an open house for WWE that will welcome established independent professional wrestlers looking to make it to the next level in their career. That is change. If you don't think that's change, get the fuck out. You're not going to rain on my parade. That's exciting. So if you're not going to see NXT change immediately, which I don't expect it to change, and I don't want you guys to expect it to change, things will be ready after SummerSlam. Change will be happening after SummerSlam. The fact that he's bringing in independent professional wrestlers is a huge change because now you're going to see the hiring process get better. You're going to get people into the company, onto the brand, who are already ahead of the curve. Get some established names and established in-ring veterans on the show, and it's going to be a true variety show on Tuesday night. You're going to get your veterans, you're going to get your ring generals, you're going to get your rookies, you're going to get your women, you're going to get your sports entertainment. It's going to be a true variety show. We're not getting Black and Gold back. As much as that breaks my heart. We're not going to get Black and Gold back. But if we get something that resembles a little bit of what he did on the Black and Gold, I think we as a fan base would take that. Nick Spillone, get the fuck out of my chat. Get him out of here. Good job, Otis. Good job, Otis. Can't win with these fucking people. Oh, JD hates on WWE. Now I'm a WWE dick rider. Make up your fucking mind, you fucking retard. Can't be a WWE dick rider when I'm shitting on the fucking show. Why don't you watch my fucking content before you actually go out there and call me a dick rider? I know this is coming. Oh, JD's a WWE dick rider. Before, I was an AEW paid shill by Tony Khan. Now I'm a WWE dick rider. Which one am I? Which one am I? You're going to rain on my parade? Get the fuck out. I predicted this day for 7 years, and now we're here. And now, you want to tell me I'm a WWE dick rider? Get the fuck out. I'm an NXT fucking #1, day oneer, who knew that that brand and that process was the way WWE needed to be and built for moving into the future. And now that we're one step there with Triple H in charge, now everybody wants to rain on my fucking parade? Should be giving me fucking whiskey on the rocks. Keep them coming. Good job, JD. You know your shit. No, I'm a WWE cocksucker now. Fuck out of here. I've been a WWE cocksucker all my life. More so for NXT than anything else. That doesn't work here. The hiring process is going to change. That will be the first step as far as change is concerned. But WWE desperately needs to change NXT for the better. Absolutely. So instead of building talent and cultivating talent for Vince's vision, all of these incoming talents and all of these talents presumably looking at what's going on, wanting to come back after being released, being fired, just let go and didn't want to come back and left because of the terrible way that they were treated by Vince and Bruce to go somewhere else, who haven't signed anywhere else. Everybody's looking at what is going on internally with WWE. And they're going to give WWE major consideration. Johnny Gargano is the perfect example. Killer Cross is the perfect example. Two men who haven't really signed exclusively anywhere. Johnny Gargano sitting at home. You don't think Triple H is already in discussion with Johnny Gargano to come on back to the WWE? You may not like Johnny Gargano, but Johnny Gargano is one hell of a professional wrestler. Johnny Gargano is a veteran that makes every single body that he's in the ring with better. That's the type of change that we are going to see. I don't know when it's going to happen, but it's going to happen. That's what I'm talking about. NXT needs to change. It does. Not black and gold. Not going back to the dark, dingy, Full Sail University, though I do miss it. I do think that it desperately needs to change. Get the colors and the color scheme that they've created with this show, get it out of here. Do something. This show is looking like it's built for fucking 6-year-olds. I don't know whether I'm watching a pro wrestling show or I'm watching Nick at Night or Nick Jr., Disney Jr., whatever the fuck the case may be. Looks like I'm watching a Saturday morning cartoon. The color scheme is terrible. I don't know why they want to do what they do with the color scheme, but it ain't attracting younger audiences. That has nothing to do with attracting younger audiences. Nothing. The music sucks. It needs to go back to being an adult-orientated program. The music that they've chosen for this show is fucking dreadful. It doesn't even resemble a wrestling show. It resembles a fucking circus. Gone are the days of Triple H having indie bands and fucking Slipknot, who's a mainstream act. You throw that to the side and you got this cringe like Down South Side or whatever the fuck they're talking about in the intro. Shit is garbage. Down Street Slang or whatever the fucking lyrics are in the song. This shit sucks. I hated it from day one. The first thing that stood out to me was the presentation of the show. It's got to go. Maybe you really need to go back and do a little dark and grungy and dingy for Tuesday night. It's the fucking problem with the show. You want to make it seem like Monday Night Raw light or Friday Night SmackDown light. We don't watch Tuesday night for that. We never wanted to watch NXT to watch the same thing that we're getting on Monday and Friday night. Don't make it look and feel like Monday and Friday night. But if you want to cultivate talent the way that you got to do to get ready for Monday and Friday night, then by all means, go and do it. But presentation is fucking key. You got to change it. The little subtleties, the storylines, all of it has to flow. All of it has to make sense. I don't think I've been invested in any storyline since 2.0 was rebranded. Not one. Nothing as far as storytelling has been present on this show. Nothing. There's nothing that you say, hey man, I'm going to go back and watch this next week. I can't wait to see where they go with this. Have you felt that way about NXT? I know I haven't. And if I told you there was a good storyline, I'd be the fucking first one in line to tell you. Nothing has presented itself as, oh man, I can't wait for next week. Triple H every fucking week let you feel that. Man, I can't wait till next week. You know how many times Jesse and I have texted back and forth during the 1-hour NXT Black and Gold era on the network? I can't wait till next week. How many times did we watch a takeover and it was 2 hours and there was 5 matches and you were at the end of that show saying, man, I wish there was another hour added to this show, or I wish there was another match or two added to this show? That's what Triple H made you feel, and that's the change that you're going to get. And I'm pretty confident we're going to be feeling that on Monday and Friday night, and hopefully we're going to be feeling that on Tuesday. That's the change we need. Because my feeling after watching this show, I didn't even want to fucking come on here. This show is 80% fucking female wrestling. 80% women's division. And none of them are really good. None of them are entertaining to a point where I'm going to sit down for 2 hours and watch pro wrestling and be entertained. I don't want to watch an all-women show on Tuesday night. That's their fucking problem. That was their problem tonight. This shit did not present itself as, oh my God, there's change. Oh my God, it's must-see. It's the same shit that we've been seeing week in and week out since last September, with a little bit more emphasis on women's wrestling. We can't do that. We can't do that. Bring back TakeOver. Get people on the show that are going to really bring that name value back to TakeOver. Right now, it doesn't exist. Right now, there's nobody on that roster that even holds a fucking candle to TakeOver. Let's get back to that. I would love to see the TakeOver name come back for NXT because of what we've lived through in the last 72 hours with Triple H and Stephanie McMahon legitimately taking over WWE. But if you don't think this show needs to change, then there's something fucking wrong with you. There's nothing redeeming about this show. There are obvious problems with this show. The show itself is a fucking problem. It's not interesting. It's not exciting. That fucking performance center is fucking cringe. The crowd and the people that they let in that building are fucking cringe. The lighting, the colors, the mainstream pop appeal, it sucks. It sucks. There's only a handful of people on that roster I genuinely care about. Carmelo Hayes, Tony D'Angelo, Braun Breaker, Santos Escobar, Grayson Waller. That's it. I don't think there's anybody else on that show that I legitimately can tell you guys I actually care about. I may be missing one or two. Von Wagner's even growing on me, believe it or not. Solo Sikoa. There is talent there. But the rest of the fucking show, if you mix those names in with what Triple H hopefully does with this brand and brings in some indie talent and brings in some ring generals to kind of round out this show, then we will be in store for change. But what they're doing right now, man, you got 80% of the roster that is absolutely not TV ready. Absolutely not TV ready. This entire vision of 2.0 was a fail. They took so many names out of the fucking performance center and threw them on TV with a sink or swim mentality. That's not Triple H's vision. That was never Triple H's vision. They were like, what are we paying these people for? Let's get them on TV. Let's create characters and give them silly gimmicks that resemble the 90s. Throw them out there on television. That's not Triple H's vision. All that needs to be wiped away. All that needs to be wiped away. I'm not saying you can't develop characters or give somebody a gimmick. I actually think that's very key and very important. But the way WWE has done it, it's not working. Just look at Duke Hudson, for example. He went from being generic to having a poker gimmick to cutting his hair and now back to a generic gimmick. I don't know who the fuck Duke Hudson is. There's so many, stop and start gimmicks on this show. The only one that I think has really been there as far as a gimmick that they really haven't deviated away from, and I guess you could say he's deviated because he didn't really start off the way he is now, is Joe Gacy. Joe Gacy kind of transformed himself into being this millennial-like character that wants to use these big words and push his narrative about all the big-time touchy subjects of today to get people riled up. Equality. Or whatever the fuck he was pushing back when we first saw him last year. Now he's nothing more than Bray Wyatt Light. Now he's nothing more than, minus the swamp gimmick and the alligators and the group, he's nothing more than fucking Eater of Worlds Bray Wyatt 2.0. But at least it's something. It's not terribly good, but at least it's something. All of that needs to go away. That needs to just die 1,000 deaths. I can't take that aspect of it. Taking people from the performance center and throwing them out on TV. Then you have the show that you have now. And we're still doing that. Half of these people don't even belong on TV. So you will be seeing change. It's not going to be present on NXT like we expected to on Monday night and Friday night. But I do think that when Triple H gets down there and Triple H sees what he needs to do and he needs to drain the swamp down there and kind of revert things back to somewhat of how they used to operate. Maybe he brings back some of his old team. I don't know who's writing the show. I don't. I know there's one lead writer. I don't remember his name. I remember hearing about one lead writer being there. And I don't think change is going to happen until after SummerSlam. I don't. And that's in all aspects of WWE. Because right now what Triple H did, and I said this last night on the post show for Monday Night Raw, what Triple H did is inherit all of Vince and Bruce's mess. He inherited Vince and Bruce's storylines. And none of them were terribly exciting. On Monday, he inherited all the storylines. On Friday, he inherited all these storylines. On Tuesday, he inherited all these storylines. So it's going to be a little bit. We got to wash that bad taste out of our mouth. And then he's going to get the ball rolling on a couple of things. But first Monday and Friday, and then whatever is left over for him to do, he's going to do on Tuesday night. But I would really hope we start seeing subtle changes on a show that desperately needs subtle changes. It needs major changes, but I'm okay with the subtle changes getting the ball rolling. NXT has Heatwave in August. This is their new special event. It is a take on the ECW Heatwave name. But they also have a premium live event that apparently is airing the same day as AEW All Out. I know which one I'll be watching, and it's not NXT. AEW recently announced that their next pay-per-view, All Out, will take place Sunday, September 4th, in Chicago at the Now Arena. WWE, as you guys know, the day before has Clash at the Castle in Cardiff on September 3rd. This will be the same weekend as Clash of the Castle and All Out, supposedly this NXT Premium Live event. New report from Brandon Thurston of WrestleNomics says WWE has the next Premium Live event for NXT planned to take place on Sunday, September 4th, the same day as All Out. The report states that the start time and event of the show are currently unknown. The NXT 2.0 event is expected to take place in Orlando, but it remains to be seen if it will emanate from the Performance Center. I said this. You want to change? Here's a fucking change. WWE wants to do these premium NXT live events. If you continue to run these premium live events from the Performance Center, you are basically giving us the pandemic era with an empty arena inside the Performance Center with 200 fans. That's all you're doing. If you're doing a premium live event, there's nothing premium about going back to where you do your weekly television show and playing off of, oh man, this is a premium live event that's airing on Peacock and it's got some cool fucking name to it. That's not what I call premium. It's not what I call different. It's not what I call change. You want change? You doing a premium live event? Let's get back inside Full Sail University. That's the one thing that I would change. If you want to do premium live events and you're not ready to take this show on the road, just to go to show you what NXT has fucking dwindled into, Triple H was selling out fucking arenas, Barclays, major arenas all around the United States with his NXT. Now NXT can't even bring in 1,000 fucking people. That's the first thing I change. You want change? You want different from a premium live event? Let's get back inside Full Sail University. Then, at that point, it may start to feel like change is happening, and it may start to feel like the old NXT. Let's get back to where it all started. Now, I know that they're not fucking stupid. I know Triple H is not stupid. You're going to put NXT, a premium live event for NXT, on at the same time that All Out is airing on pay-per-view and all streaming platforms? Get ready to be absolutely decimated. I don't know why they're running that weekend. If they are running that day on September 4th, it's going to be another 1 p.m. affair. And nobody's going to go and nobody's going to watch it. Because everybody's going to be in Chicago. What a waste of fucking time. Speaking of Triple H, there's backstage notes on Triple H running WWE into SummerSlam. WrestleVotes posted on Twitter. He noted that Triple H will only make a creative splash at SummerSlam if it is logical. Apparently, Triple H wants to have a major booking decision take place immediately at SummerSlam. He will change up the card, possibly. He will sign off on a possible major booking decision immediately to establish that there is a new era in WWE, but he will only do it, and he will only make a creative splash if it would be logical. WrestleVotes tweeted, and I quote, "With SummerSlam being his first real show in Total Control, sources said Triple H would like to make a creative splash at the event. However, only if it makes sense. Won't just do something for the sake of just doing it. How about that change of pace already?" And that in itself is fucking massive. Because that's not the way Triple H, or that's not the way Vince McMahon, rather, operated. It's not the way Bruce Pritchard operated. That's the way Triple H operated with NXT. This is the same man. Paul Levesque stated himself that when someone was called up from NXT, we will not call somebody up from NXT to the main roster unless there is a 6-month plan for that talent. That's not the mentality of Vince McMahon and Bruce Pritchard. That was said right out of Paul Levesque's mouth. And that mentality of Paul Levesque was never adhered to on the main roster. That's the change we're going to get. You see, this is why I'm such a big advocate for change. Because with the talent coming up from NXT now we're about to see that actually take place. And if you're not excited about that, I don't know what to fucking tell you. You don't think Triple H is already thinking about who he's calling up from NXT? You don't think that Triple H, and I'm throwing this name out there, you don't think that Triple H is already thinking about a long-term plan for Carmelo Hayes? Think about that for a second. Carmelo Hayes was a Triple H hire. Somehow, he's made it through the fucking trenches with Bruce Pritchard running NXT. You don't think Triple H is already thinking about a long-term plan for Carmelo Hayes? I could see Triple H calling Carmelo Hayes up with a 6-month fucking plan all the way into WrestleMania next year, culminating with the Carmelo Hayes versus Seth Rollins WrestleMania match. That's the type of change we are talking about. That's the type of change that I'm getting excited about, because that, I'm not here talking about that last week when Vince McMahon was still here. You don't think Solo Sikoa has a fucking 6-month plan already in the back of Triple H's mind? You don't think Braun Breaker has a 6-month fucking plan in the back of Triple H's mind? Triple H was never the man to just go out there and make a decision for the sake of doing it, for the sake of popping a crowd. Maybe performer Triple H, not executive Triple H. This is why I've always stated that Triple H, in this era of his career, in this part of his career, is more valuable than he ever was as an in-ring performer. You can hate on him all you want. You can shit on him all you want. This is the change that we are getting ready for. Absolutely. I have no idea who's getting called up. I'm using those names as an example. Last night's Monday Night Raw wasn't drastically changed at all. It was definitely a Vince McMahon, Bruce Pritchard show. It was largely written before Triple H was announced as head of creative. SummerSlam. What could happen? We could see a major title change. The only thing major that I could see happening at that show would be Roman Reigns losing that Universal and WWE Championship. To Brock Lesnar, not really the most attractive of creative decisions. Austin Theory cashing in, maybe that's the big major creative booking decision in the back of Triple H's mind. I don't know. We don't know what's going on. Street Profits winning the tag team championships, that's pretty major to me. But something is going to happen if Triple H deems it to be logical. Logical. Something that I'm not talking about last week when it comes to Vince McMahon and Bruce Pritchard. Also, I want to make sure I get all the news here that was leaked coming out of this NXT show tonight. Many former WWE stars believe they'd still be there if Triple H had been in control. Don't worry, people are coming back. Sasha Banks will be back. Johnny Gargano will be back. Killer Cross will be back. Or Karrion Kross will be back. I have a feeling they will. I have a feeling they will be. A new report reveals that many former WWE talent believe they'd still be with the company if Triple H had been in control all along. Fightful Select is reporting several former WWE stars who left for a variety of reasons believe things would have been different for them if Triple H was in power earlier. Majority of NXT talent that have been released believe that they had, obviously this relationship with Triple H, believe that had Triple H been in those roles previously, then they would not have been released from WWE. Some of these talents were realistic with the fact they weren't being utilized or progressing fast enough before their cut. Another former NXT star that had options within WWE before signing elsewhere said they felt an incredible sense of loyalty to Triple H, and had he been the person in charge of their creative future, Things could have been different. That is change. That is change. If you don't think that it in itself is massive, just in the fucking days following his announcement as head of creative and head of talent relations, you don't know a fucking thing. Because again, I'm not here last week talking about this former NXT talent that went and signed somewhere else and said, if Triple H was there, I would still be there because I felt an incredible sense of loyalty to Triple H, and things could have been different in regards to my creative future. Vince McMahon was reported thinking that everything was going all right on the main roster. But the writing team had to filter what he was doing. People around him had to filter what he was doing and the things that he wanted and the things that he wanted done and the things that he wanted said on the show. Half the time he was losing his mind. There was a report from Vince McMahon, or Fightful, in regards to Vince McMahon, that they've heard from many people within the creative process who said that many of the creative writers' assistants effectively needed to filter Vince themselves in some ways, as the assistants often had to know what not to write for McMahon while taking notes from him. It was said that the minutes were heavily edited. This was said to be largely the case for a long time. It ranged from Vince saying things that would appear insensitive or offensive to, oh God, what did he just say type of moments. The report noted some of the stories included McMahon constantly calling people the wrong names or using terms that weren't socially acceptable and that even he himself would never have allowed on television. One of the former WWE production employees was quoted saying, if a live feed of Vince McMahon on a headset was heard on any given night and it made it out to the public, it would provide a picture of that production experience, especially for the announcers. Probably meaning that he was a control-hungry fucking prick. Constantly forgetting he was doing things on a week-to-week basis. You could do a match 2 weeks ago. Vince would do it again and again, not realizing that he did it 2 weeks ago. This is a problem. You're not going to see that here with this regime. We never saw it in NXT, ever. So if you're not here for the change and you don't think that change will be coming just based off these things that I just read to you, how could it get any worse? How can it get any worse? This is fucking ridiculous. This is such a great time to be a fan. Oh, but JD, you're a WWE cocksucker now. Good. Always have been. I was just a realist. I was just crucified for my truthful takes and my honesty. One thing I pride myself on is I come on here and I'm myself every single week. Every single week. I've built an incredible platform based on me. Not giving you somebody else's opinion, not giving you the fucking opinion that, is the majority feel in the community to toe a company line or to toe a gray line. The shows have largely fucking been terrible. They have been abysmal. You need to know that. Now I'm here in a different sense because now the day has come that we didn't think was even possible. Change. I didn't think I'd be in my 40s with Vince McMahon. I just turned 40 in February. I didn't think I'd be here at this age thinking that Vince McMahon would be gone. I was thinking, shit, I'd be doing this fucking podcast at 60 years old and Vince McMahon is fucking 98 years old in that goddamn fucking chair. When is he gonna go? How much longer can I keep this up? Now we can get to work. Now change is readily there, available for us to take. I love it. It's fucking great. That's the news. The other big thing that happened on tonight's show is that they made a decision, I don't know why, about the NXT Women's Tag Team Championships. Women's Tag Team Championships in NXT will be determined in a fatal four-way elimination match. I'm surprised they even have 4 fucking teams to fill this match with. In a backstage segment on 2.0 tonight, Alundra Blayze was on hand to assist Roxanne Perez in pulling one of the titles out of the trash can after Cora Jade unceremoniously dumped her half of the titles in the trash. Next week, the match was announced. So there will be a fatal four-way match with the winning team becoming the new NXT 2.0 Women's Tag Team Champions. The teams will be Toxic Attraction, Gigi Dolan and JC Jane, Ivy Nile and Tatum Paxley, Kaden Carter and Katana Chance, and Yulisa Leon and Valentina Feroz. I don't know who you guys are going with here. I don't really give a shit. It needs to be somebody that's not named Toxic Attraction. Now, these other teams, they do nothing for me. But if I'm going based on name value here and the women that have put in the work, I'm going with Katana Chance and Kaden Carter. They've been there for so long and have waited for an opportunity like this to slap them in the face. And it's here, and you're going to bypass them again? Both of them had to go through name changes. Both of them had to go through Black and Gold into 2.0. Both of them had to go with getting pushed to the side because John Laurinaitis wanted Toxic Attraction to come out wearing barely any fucking clothing. That's who we want leading our show. You're going to bypass them again? In a new era where Triple H is head of all creative in WWE, they're going to be bypassed again? I don't think that's a wise creative decision there, Heartbreak Kid. We need something like that to occur next week. Not that it really fucking matters to me because there is no division. And these teams are taped together with fucking scotch tape. Tatum Paxley and Ivy Nile, not a tag team. Yulisa Leon and Valentina Feroz. How many fucking matches do you recall seeing from them on television? One. Against who? I don't know. It might have been Kaden Carter and Katana Chance, if I'm not mistaken. And they didn't look too bad. At least they looked like a fucking tag team. Alundra Blayze was also, fun fact, doing double duty tonight in the Women's Championship announcement on NXT. She was actually on both NXT and NWA Power, which I'm assuming aired on YouTube earlier in the evening. Let's get into NXT tonight, man. Also, make sure you guys follow me on social media at JDfromNY206. That's Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, Cameo. All social media links are linked down below in the description. Hit that subscribe button down below if you guys have enjoyed any of the content on the channel so far this week. Dating back to the big announcement on Friday with Vince McMahon resigning. Make sure you guys go and check all that stuff out. Hit that subscribe button. Turn on the bell for notifications. And let's get 1,000 likes on today's video. Minimum. 1,700 people, only 550 likes, man. I need 1,000 minimum on today's NXT post show right here on OTS. NXT started off with Zoey Stark. I'm going to be brutally honest with you, man. I do not see what they see in Zoey Stark. I don't. I think she's a fine in-ring performer. But I don't get the overwhelming love for Zoey Stark. What is it? What is so special about Zoey Stark? I didn't even really feel a connection to Zoey Stark at all while she was there by herself. The only time I felt a connection to Zoey Stark was when she was paired with Io Shirai, which is another thing that nobody really is talking about. Io reportedly has one foot out the door. With this news, who's to say Triple H doesn't call her up to the main roster already? It's a possible change, right? Some people in Stardom that have close connects to Io Shirai claim that, well, if she was given a main roster spot, we were under the impression that she would stay in the United States. We may get our wish. You think Triple H is going to let her go? Triple H is going to be like, no. Get your ass over to Friday night. We ain't letting you go nowhere. Zoey Stark's out there wearing a knee brace. She said she tore her ACL off the bone at Halloween Havoc, and doctors told her that she would be out for over a year. She kind of yelled and was over the top here. Really, it didn't come off very good. It was a little cringe, to be quite honest with you. She said that she knew she could beat the timetable to get to work the day after surgery and rehab. She said there were a lot of hard times physically, but more so mentally, the insecurities going through her head. She asked why it happened to her when things were going so great, and if the fans would remember her if she came back. They chanted for her. She said these times, when she's thinking about this, she said, past those curtains are the trainer's rooms, and she lived in those rooms, busting her ass to return 4 months ahead of schedule. 4 months ahead of schedule. Usually WWE kind of embellishes on how serious these injuries are. It might have not been that bad of an injury, so they usually leave a nice little gap for the time period for when these people come back. They're doing with Cody Rhodes right now. Cody Rhodes tore his pec completely off the bone. They're claiming that he'll be back in January, ready to go. No, he'll be back ready to go in October, November, the earliest. They're going to keep him out, and then they're going to debut him or re-debut him in the Royal Rumble from injury, and he's going to win the Royal Rumble. That's what they typically do here. They chanted for Zoey. Everybody was excited to see her. She said these moments here, the Battle Royal, it all came to this moment in the Battle Royal, and the noise the fans made when her music hit, and that made it all worth it. That garnered a nice babyface reaction from the crowd, and she is in the ring, and she's getting interrupted by Toxic Attraction. So all those cryptic Wordle, that cryptic Wordle thing that they did, and that little fucking Bible verse fucking thing that they did the week before that, it was all leading to Zoey Stark's return. Kind of lame. Toxic Attraction's out there. These are the same women that took her out, so I like the continuity. I do. Zoey Stark was injured, Toxic Attraction took her out, and now Zoey Stark is looking for revenge on Toxic Attraction. It may result in a women's championship, for all we know. So, Toxic Attraction came out, and Mandy is out there saying that they talk a big game. But when it comes to the title, I only win. She said she becomes the 4th longest reigning women's champion in NXT history tomorrow. Then she thanked the crowd and said, goodbye, Bayley, goodbye, Rhea Ripley, goodbye, Paige. So put some goddamn respect on my name. Stark says she has the perfect way to put some damn respect on her name and challenged Rose to a title match tonight. Dolan took the microphone and said that they run this show and Stark doesn't get to do that. So what's going to happen is she's going to take on Stark and put her on the shelf again for even longer. Cora Jade. She was in this segment before Mandy Rose came out. And I wanted to save this for last because I was very hard on Cora Jade during that entire heel turn with Roxanne Perez. I didn't cover NXT last week. It was the week before that. The whole heel turn sucked. I thought it was incredibly rushed. I thought WWE did a piss poor job at really delivering on something that could have been a big moment for her career. She was not going anywhere as a babyface. Not going anywhere. I think she was incredibly bland. I thought she was downright cringe at certain points in her babyface run. She's out there tonight on the podium, that NXT podium, that little eagle perch that they got above the fans, right above the timekeeper's area. And she's out there and she's cutting a heel promo. So she says she has a new bodyguard that appeared in house shows, but I won't spoil it for you guys. Or I might as well spoil it for you guys, to be honest with you. The former Commander Aziz. He's no longer with Apollo Crews. He is now the new bodyguard for Cora Jade, if you guys really want to know. I didn't want to spoil it. Maybe you guys were surprised or wanted a surprise or you wanted to be surprised. Commander Aziz. I don't know what his name is or what he's going under now, but maybe he goes back under Babatunde. I don't know. So that's her new bodyguard. Jade said no one ever said that they're glad to see Zoey Stark back. She said that the last time she saw Zoey, she threw her scrawny, screaming ass over the top rope. Jade said 19 other women teamed up against her, and Stark came and stole her moment, just like Roxanne Perez stole her moment. Stark said they all saw her moment and it made Stark sick to her stomach, dropping the title in the trash. She called Cora Jade a piece of garbage. Cora Jade actually cut a very decent heel promo here. She sounded so much more comfortable and organic and natural on the microphone cutting a heel promo on Zoey Stark. It honestly made it seem like Cora Jade actually speaks this way and is more comfortable speaking this way to people in her real life than she was as a babyface. I didn't really believe anything she did as a babyface, but I'm here telling you that even though what she did was not really all that impressive as a babyface, I was actually kind of drawn to her and the way she kind of interacted with Zoey Stark. Her body language was different. She was very confident in the role that they had her play tonight. And that goes a long way. So we're already off to a decent heel turn for Cora Jade. I think she's a little bit more comfortable in what she's doing now compared to her being a babyface. So Zoey Stark wants the Women's Championship. Zoey Stark is back. You got Nikita Lyons, or who you guys call Thick Keita Lyons, in the chat. We got her. Cora Jade wants the title. Roxanne Perez wants the title. NXT has a decent little nucleus. I don't think Nikita is where she needs to be yet. I don't think Cora Jade is anywhere near where she needs to be yet. Zoey Stark is probably leagues above everybody else right now. She's probably the veteran in that division. And you got Tiffany Stratton coming along. There's a nice little nucleus of women in that division. Roxanne Perez is probably the most popular in the women's division next to Nikita Lyons. But there's a nice little core nucleus of women there. So much so that Toxic Attraction's days, in my honest opinion, are over. I think Mandy Rose drops that title to Zoey Stark. I do. I think that's their girl. That's Shawn Michaels' girl. That's Triple H's girl. That has been both of their girl for the longest time. And I think she's going to get paid off in a couple of weeks at Heatwave. I think Mandy Rose and Toxic Attraction gets called up to the main roster after SummerSlam. I do. And I think the core nucleus of the women that I just mentioned are going to be the leaders of that women's division. I do. Grayson Waller. He was walking in from the back. He told the fat asses at the PC or the fat asses at home to drop their phones because she's not interested, bro. She's not interested in you. He said, get ready for the Grayson Waller effect, and that he's going to embarrass Wes Lee, kind of like how you embarrass yourself every time you look in the mirror. Grayson Waller is very good at what he does. Tony D'Angelo was backstage with the family. He and Stax were discussing bleaching someone's eyes out, which is always a pleasant thing to do. It's how exactly what I wanted to do under the Vince McMahon regime. He praised Elektra Lopez for her work, then Joaquin Wilde and Cruz Del Toro for growing into their roles. He said they roll into their 8-man tag team match tonight with the Diamond Mine, and they're going to break some skulls. He taunted Diamond Mine and said, tonight, it's Tony D business. Capiche? Wes Lee versus Grayson Waller. This was not bad at all. Two very good guys. You know what I was thinking about while I was watching this match? The match was fine. The match was fine. We got Grayson Waller getting the victory here over Wes Lee with that little roll into the ring, into the cutter, which is a very good move there. Quite different from anything else that we see. Don't really call it a finishing move, but he makes it look good. So he got the win, and I'm thinking to myself, you know, Wes Lee, he's great. Wes Lee is very good. But under the Triple H regime right now, I know Triple H was big time into MSK. I do. That was another Triple H hire. Is it possible that we could see Nash Carter come back? And I think Nash Carter just got back with Trey Miguel, and I think they are the Rascals again. I'm not really sure. I don't think Nash Carter would have been much of anything on his own out there on the indies. So I think that the Rascals are back together, he and Trey Miguel. But who's to say that Nash Carter doesn't join NXT again? Triple H brings him back. Things have died down, gives him his job back, gets MSK back. We need, one of the things that Triple H needs to do is revitalize the tag team division on both shows, on NXT and on the main roster. Diamond Mine really has no competition in that tag team division. Who is there? There is nobody. So if you want a solid fucking tag team that's going to get over with a large portion of the audience because they're fucking great at what they do, Nash Carter back in WWE would be perfect. But I don't know if he signed with Impact. I don't know if he's got a long-term or a short-term deal with wherever he is. I don't know. It's going to be interesting to see. I wonder if Nash Carter is a possibility. I wonder if Wes Lee is actually maybe when the time is right, goes to Triple H and says, bro, listen, what is my role here? You know, I got my tag team partner taken away from me. I got all the success that we had taken away from me because of a stupid cunt. And here we are. I got no partner. Can we bring him back? It's a possibility. I don't know. We'll see what happens. Grayson Waller beats Wes Lee. Decent little match there. The reason why Waller got the victory here. Trick Williams was in the crowd. He was hooded up. He had boxing gloves on. He reveals himself after he punched Wes Lee in the back of the neck, knocking him out. So this led to Grayson Waller hitting the, I don't know what his finishing move is called. It's that rolling cutter that he does from the outside into the inside. 1, 2, 3, and that was pretty much it. Apollo Crews. He defeated Xyon Quinn. I would be lying to you if I told you that I was awake during this match. Xyon Quinn could put the most awake individual to bed within minutes. This guy is a charisma vacuum. What is so special about Xyon Quinn? Got a great look. He's Samoan. Great. But this guy is absolutely fucking boring. Apollo Crews gets the victory here. Quinn bumps and he is on the receiving end of Apollo Crews' comeback. Takes a stinger splash. Crews follows up with a short arm clothesline. Crews climbs the turnbuckles. Big cross body. They trade near falls at the end of the match. Quinn takes a backstabber, choke slam, and that was pretty much it. NyQuil Quinn, says Jonathan Spaulding in the chat. Yes. Zion MyQuil. You guys are fucking ridiculous, man. Boring is Xyon Quinn. Great look, but Jesus fucking Christ, man. He could bring a fucking exciting party down to fucking church-like levels. Holy shit. Got a great video package. I really love this video package, man. This was a great video package with Solo Sikoa tonight. He's feuding with Von Wagner. I heard rumors of Solo Sikoa getting called up to the main roster after all of this is over. Maybe getting placed with the Usos. Maybe getting placed in something with the Bloodline. I don't know. This was filmed on a street at night. He called Von Wagner a punk ass for attacking him from behind. And they showed footage of, apparently, Von Wagner was at SmackDown on Friday in Orlando 10 days ago. This guy attacked Solo Sikoa in the fucking parking lot at the Amway Center. So they filmed footage there. I guess that's why they were reportedly backstage. He says he sees how Von Wagner really wants to play it. The rules are out the window. Falls count anywhere match next week. I honestly think he's ready for the main roster. I do. Just the way, just his presence. I don't know if he's very solid in the ring. But if we're being honest with each other, I honestly think Solo Sikoa is ready for the main roster. I see Solo and Carmelo Hayes getting the call up after SummerSlam. That's my prediction. We got Joe Gacy and the Dyad. Don't really, I don't know what they did to the grizzled young veterans, man. J.D. Drake, right? Or James Drake, I should say. James Drake. The fuck did they do to him, man? These guys look ridiculous. They legitimately look like something out of Resident Evil 4. They look like something out of Lord Sadler's cult in Resident Evil 4. Mackenzie Mitchell was interviewing Gacy and the Dyad. This is Rip Fowler. and Mick Jagger, or whatever the fuck his name is. I don't even know their fucking names. Jagger Reed. Mick Jagger. Rip Fowler, whatever. Zach Gibson. James Drake. Awesome. They were so fucking great. Seriously, Zach Gibson looks like something out of Resident Evil 4 with the two different color eyes. He's standing there doing the fucking hand gesture, right? Like he's part of the Illuminati. Come on, man. So, Joe Gacy apparently is feuding with Cameron Grimes. Gacy says he invited Cameron Grimes to be under their tree. Then he thanked Mitchell for her time. They gave some words on acceptance while holding their hands, these two guys, Jagger Reed and Rip Fowler. Thank you for bringing us into the dyad. Moving on. Zoey Stark versus Gigi Dolan. This went 2 minutes. Sounds like a Bruce Pritchard women's match if I ever saw one, man. 2 minutes. So, Zoey Stark obviously got the victory. Not much here as far as in-ring work is concerned. So, Stark hits Dolan with a super kick. Stark points in the direction of Mandy Rose, that she's coming for her. And Stark turns around, and she eats a boot in the face by Gigi Dolan. So, we got this ending here. Cora Jade suddenly appears in the ring, standing behind Zoey Stark. And Jade hits Stark with a kendo stick, swinging away like Sandman. At least this worked out better than her fucking skateboard. Roxanne Perez rushed to the ring, running in to make a save. Jade hightails out of the arena through the soundstage. And that was pretty much it. Nothing going on here. Actually, no, I'm sorry. The ending of the match. I skipped all of this completely. We got a GTS by Zoey Stark for the win. I'm sorry. I went right into the post-match stuff. That's how much I cared about this match. GTS on Gigi Dolan. Scores the victory over Gigi. Braun Breaker. Braun Breaker confronts J.D. McDonough. The fake JD. We got two fake JDs here. We got JD Drake, who I accidentally mentioned in this podcast for some reason. JD Drake. James Drake. JD Drake is the fake JD, and JD McDonough is the second fake JD. What are we doing here? There's only one JD, bitch. Only one. Me. I'm probably more over than JD fucking McDonough. So he's out there. He drives up in a fancy car, and he's got a ticket. He goes into the building. Says he's a paying customer tonight. But he gets a microphone. He's a paying customer. He's sitting in the crowd. He's a paying customer, but he gets a fucking microphone to address the NXT universe. Next time I go to a show, should I be getting a fucking live microphone? Maybe. He said he thought he'd come out and address some members of the NXT universe. He called out and picked on some fat slob that was eating popcorn. And he told this guy that a lot more people die from eating popcorn than you realize. It gets stuck in your trachea, he says. Good thing I don't eat popcorn. He moved on to the timekeeper, calling it one of the most important jobs in the company. He introduced himself to Alicia Tyler, the ring announcer, or Taylor, Alicia Taylor. He said that she had a fabulous voice. The timekeeper, he takes the guy's hammer, and he said, if he knew what it could do in the right hands. It's a heavy fucking hammer. It's a very stressful job, man. You got to ring that bell so meticulously, so perfect every single time to get that nice ding, 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 you know? So then he goes over to the commentary table. He takes Wade Barrett's hands, and he went to Wade Barrett, shook his hand. He says he's a huge fan, but all those years of bare-knuckle boxing has taken its toll on Barrett. Barrett's hands. He then forcefully put Barrett's hands onto the table. He then turned to Vic Joseph. Another thing I would change about this show, Vic Joseph he does nothing for me on commentary, man. The more I listen to him, he's not bad, but the more I listen to him, man, he doesn't have that voice. He doesn't have that lead voice. He doesn't. So he turned to Joseph and said he heard what Joseph said about McDonough's family last week, and he didn't like it one bit. He said he sized up Joseph right away, and he pinched on the collarbone of Joseph and said he could break his collarbone with his bare hands, but he won't, but keep up the good work. He entered the ring. He called out Braun Breaker. Breaker made his entrance. Hoo, 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 barking. He goes out there, stares at J.D. McDonough. Breaker said in 3 weeks, McDonough's going to get real acquainted with Braun Breaker, and then he yelled he's not going to like it. Breaker said they're going to make it official next week. McDonough hit a headbutt. Breaker responded with one of his own. McDonough was floored. He smiled. He was bleeding. He had blood coming from his mouth, and he smiled up at Braun Breaker. I don't really see how this ends well for Mr. J.D. McDonough. Does Braun Breaker lose the title to J.D. McDonough and get called up to the main roster? Are they really going to poach NXT of their star pupils and put them on the main roster to give some sense of change via the youth movement? Can you guys see J.D. McDonough becoming the NXT champion? I can't. I don't know. Doesn't really bode well for J.D. McDonough. I don't see Braun Breaker losing that championship yet. Andre Chase with Bodie Hayward and Thea Hale. This was probably the best thing on the entire show. We got a match with Andre Chase and Giovanni Vinci later on in the night. We got Mackenzie Mitchell with Roxanne Perez. They were talking about Cora Jade and the tag team titles. Perez said Jade wants to throw away their friendship, and that's fine, but throwing away the championship is something that I don't stand for. She said it should be shown respect, not the garbage. And luckily, someone else agrees with her. In walks Alundra Blayze, who showed up with the trash can from last week and motioned for Perez to retrieve the title from the trash can. So she did, and she held both women's championships up, handed them to Alundra Blayze. Alundra Blayze took the titles and said it was a long time for there to be a women's champion after she dropped her title in the trash all those years ago on Monday Nitro. But that won't happen this time. She announced the Fatal 4-Way Women's Tag Team Championship match next week, but Perez is not in the match. And Perez is going single to go after Cora Jade. Andre Chase with Bodie Hayward and Thea Hale against Giovanni Vinci. Vinci is definitely one of my top acts, personally, on the roster. All across NXT, man, I'm a big fan. I was a big fan of Fabian Aichner. I was a big fan of Imperium. So the fact that he's killing it now with this gimmick, man, I think this gimmick's great. I think the theme music is great for him. I love the presentation of him. He's just fucking awesome. He is. See, that's the type of guy that is one of the guys there that you need to keep an eye on. That, he gives me a sense of old school NXT. It's a little silly. The gimmick's a little silly, but he plays it well, and he looks the part. What is there not to like? Look at the guy work. He'll put those doubts to bed easy. So, Vinci beats Andre Chase. This was easily the best thing of the night. And the match is going along. Chase eats a kick from Giovanni. Chase gives him a receipt. Kick right back to him. Vinci grabs a Chase U flag from Hayward, who's standing out on the outside, breaks it over his knee, and Vinci hurls the flag onto the floor. This obviously angered Chase in the process. We got a pep rally from Chase U students, leading a comeback from Andre Chase. Andre Chase does this thing. He acts almost as if he's a cheerleader. He spells out Chase U, and he puts the boots to him. So for every kick, he says, give me a C, give me an H, give me an A, give me an S, give me an E, give me a U. What does that spell? Chase U. And the crowd chants, Chase U. I don't know what you guys think. I think that's fucking cool. I think that's cool. The only thing I don't really get about Andre Chase, why is he wrestling in a fucking sweater? He looks like a jobber. The kid can fucking wrestle. The kid can go. But why is he wrestling in something that looks like a college professor's outfit? I don't really get it. We need to change his outfit, man. I didn't get it from day one. I still don't get it now. It's a teachable moment. Teachable moment right there. So after the Chase You in Unison chant, which I loved, near fall for Chase off that, crowd was incredibly behind him in this match. So Vinci executes a sit-out last right powerbomb. Vinci covers Chase for the pinfall. Vinci gets the victory. Vinci attacks Chase again after the match. Nathan Frazier jumps in and makes the save, chasing away Giovanni Vinci. Could be a decent match right there. Could be a decent match right there. Nathan Frazier versus Giovanni Vinci. Sounds good to me, man. Indy Hartwell. She defeated Ariana Grace. This is the daughter of Santino Marella. They got her doing this model-like gimmick, waving. Beautiful woman. They got to give her a fucking stereotypical gimmick. This is what I don't like about this NXT 2.0. So stereo fucking typical, man. She's out there, she's waving, and she's like blowing kisses, and give me a break. Give me a break, man. On top of everything else that we got, you got to give her that, the daughter of Santino Marella, who could probably fucking wrestle. And they give her a shit gimmick. Hartwell pins Grace here. Not really all that good. This went about 3 minutes. This was sloppy as shit. Got a promo with Von Wagner and Mr. Stone. There was a brief mention here of Maxine Dupree, Sophia Cromwell. Von Wagner said, listen, if she wants to go and be a fucking model on the main roster, go ahead. It's not going to stop me from getting where I need to go. Robert Stone did not want Von Wagner to wrestle Solo Sikoa. He's like, whoa. What are you talking about? Yes, we're going to accept this challenge. We're going to accept this challenge with Solo Sikoa. So Stone said big picture, but Wagner doesn't give a shit about Solo. He doesn't give a shit about Sophia Cromwell wanting to go be a model, and he accepted Solo Sikoa's challenge. I'll tell you what, man. Von Wagner is kind of growing on me. Kind of growing on me, man. We made fun of him when he came out. He looked generic as hell. They changed his presentation. They changed his theme, right? Looking like a badass. It's looking pretty good out there, man. And I do think he needs a mouthpiece. Let's keep Stone with him. Let's keep a mouthpiece with Von Wagner. But I see a lot of potential in him, man. I always did. I thought he had a great look. I thought he had a great look, but if you tighten up all the loose ends there and you give him a proper presentation, he could be something good. So I'm looking forward to that match next week, man. Falls Count Anywhere with Von Wagner and Solo Sikoa. We got a vignette with Kiana James, another female. There was a lot of female fucking presence on this show tonight, man. Not that it's, everybody, all the guys watching the show love to see nice, little, pretty females on the show. But there was a lot of women's segments on this show. It almost feels like the show was just haphazardly put together. Kiana James, she pulled a Drew Gulak here and did a PowerPoint presentation on what's wrong with the women's division. She called out Thick Keita Lyons, and she said, for everything that's wrong with the women's division, Nikita Lyons is it. She said her parents were far from role models, as her father was a rock star and her mother was a groupie. She said she grew up on a tour bus, which explains her lack of vocabulary. She played a little bit of her promo last week before the Battle Royal and showed some photos of Nikita Lyons on Instagram where she's barely wearing any clothing. She said that she's just scratched the surface of this troubled woman and will report back with her findings. So we got Kiana James taking the Drew Gulak PowerPoint presentation. I don't mind. Kiana James is a very attractive woman. Alba Fire. We got an Albert Fire vignette. And it's the same shit that we've seen before. Fire for Alba Fire. Baseball bat. And her rivalry with Trash Legend. We got comments from Trash Legend, the one and only Trash Legend. Footage from her matches, which nobody wants to see. Not really bad here, but the feud. If you're interested in this fucking feud or excited for Trash Legend versus Alba Fire, man, Jesus fucking Christ. Holy shit. Trash Legend, how she still has a job here, I don't know. We got the main event, Diamond Mine. This is Roderick Strong, Damon Kemp, the Creeds, against the D'Angelo family. This is Tony D, Channing Stacks, Lorenzo, Joaquin Wilde, and Cruz del Toro. This was pretty exciting. Really nothing over the top here that would be like, oh my God, you guys need to go watch the main event of NXT tonight. So, speeding up here, just for the sake of time, because nobody gives a shit. Julius, he holds D'Angelo, so Roderick can deliver a jumping knee strike. This is towards the end of the match. D'Angelo moved out of the way. Strong instead hits Julius with a jumping knee, kind of playing off that there is some internal turmoil there with Diamond Mine. So he hit Julius with the jumping knee. Stacks then knocks Strong out of the ring. D'Angelo grabs Julius, and D'Angelo uses a Fisherman Buster and gets the pinfall and lays out one half of the NXT Tag Team Champions, Julius Creed. And that was NXT as far as the in-ring aspect is concerned. The last thing that we saw on the show tonight was Alundra Blayze leaving, and she was asked about the women's tag team titles and who she thinks would win. Toxic Attraction approached and asked for the titles, and Alundra Blayze told them no, they're going to have to fight for these titles next week. Forget about it, man. It's all over. It's all over. Yeah, we got a vignette with Axiom, too. I forgot about that. I didn't even put it in my notes because Axiom is a stolen gimmick. Axiom is a copyrighted gimmick. WWE should be copyright infringed for Axiom. Apparently, it is very, 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 very similar to indie pro wrestler Razor Wing. Never heard of Razor Wing before, but he looks pretty fucking cool, and they shafted him completely. Stole his gimmick, everything from the pose to the fucking colors that this guy wears on his outfit. Ridiculous. Nobody gives a fuck about Axiom. Axiom will go nowhere. Give me a break. Guys, that is your NXT post show right here on OTS. If you guys want to get your super chats in, we're going to hang out with our cold beverages that I haven't really taken a sip of all night because I was too busy letting you know what's up. Follow me on social media, man, at JDfromNY206. That's Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, Cameo. Everything you need is linked down below in the description. Tonight's show, sponsored by Magic Spoon. Now, I'm not talking about Chris Jericho-type wizardry here. I'm talking about Magic Spoon, man. MagicSpoon.com. You guys are going to use the code SCRIPT to save yourself 20% off. Actually, no, not 20% off. $5 off. $5 off using the code word SCRIPT. MagicSpoon.com. Use code SCRIPT at checkout. $5 off. Awesome stuff, man. Magic Spoon is actually cereal reinvented. If you guys were unaware. Major health benefits, man. I know I skip out on breakfast every morning, but when I have Magic Spoon readily available, man, I use Magic Spoon every single morning. Every single morning. I love it. Just think back to when your cereal tasted delicious as a child. How you wish you could eat that type of stuff and not feel guilty. You can do that with Magic Spoon because Magic Spoon, like I said, is cereal reinvented, and it tastes exactly like the cereal that you grew up with. But it's healthy. 0 grams of sugar, 13 to 14 grams of protein, 4 to 5 net grams of carbs in each serving. 1 gram of sugar, 10 grams of protein, 4 net grams of carbs, only 130 calories per bar. They even have cereal bars. Unbelievable, man. They're keto-friendly, gluten-free, grain-free, soy-free, low-carb. Can't get any better. Like right now, I'm getting a little hungry, man. I had an early dinner. I ate dinner tonight around 6:30. We're going on midnight. You guys get the munchies late at night? You guys want a midnight snack, man? Magic Spoon. That's what I do. MagicSpoon.com. Code SCRIPT. $5 off. You guys can create your own variety box using my code SCRIPT. You can choose from the best-selling cocoa, fruity, frosted, peanut butter, cookies and cream, which is my favorite, maple waffle, plus other awesome flavors, including honey nut and blueberry muffin. Oh, my goodness. You can also add the cookies and cream and cocoa, peanut butter, cereal bars to your variety box. And if you're not happy with their product, it's backed by a 100% guarantee. And if you don't like it, they'll give you your money back, no questions asked. Magic Spoon is also shipping to my Canada and UK friends as well. MagicSpoon.com. Code SCRIPT for $5 off. Let's start at the top, man. Paul David with a $5 super chat. Final score, Braves 6, Phillies 3. That's good news, but the Mets won tonight. It's great news. They shouldn't have lost last night. But the Braves really don't lose multiple games in a row quite often. Thank you for the super chat, Paul David. Tony Brown with a $4.99 super chat. I'm a disabled veteran. I'd give more if I could. Tony Brown, listen, brother. You don't even need to give what you give, bro. We're just happy that you're here, man. And we're happy that we celebrate with you. And you are the booty meat professor, bro. Which there was a lot of tonight on NXT, man. Booty meat all over the place. We're just happy to have you here, man. Tony Brown also with a $5 super chat. And there he is. There was meat tonight. Yes, there was, brother. Ricardo Linnell with a $5 super chat. JD, congrats on being sponsored by DraftKings. One step closer to getting OTS on SiriusXM. You deserve it. Hashtag keep grinding. Guys, we are sponsored this week by DraftKings, man. We'll be sponsored by DraftKings, I believe, on Friday with SmackDown. You guys have a chance to win $25,000. Just go visit my Twitter page, man. It's all on my Twitter page. Click the link there. We'll talk about DraftKings on Friday for the go-home show of SmackDown right before SummerSlam. Ghost with the $4.99 super chat. Yo, JD, thank you for always getting me through my lame job. Luckily, I got an interview tomorrow for a way better job. Also, I'll take a Heineken. Cheers. You got it, brother. Glad I could keep you entertained, man. Ricardo Linnell with another $5 super chat. I just want to know one thing. Where's Mustafa Ali? I think if there was one guy that was happy about Bruce getting demoted and Vince stepping down completely, it's Mustafa Ali. Ricardo with another $5 super chat. I laughed out loud when Roxanne said these NXT Women's Tag Team titles deserve more respect than to be thrown in the trash. I wonder where that line came from. Certainly wasn't Bruce Pritchard, I'll tell you that. Alan McDonald with a Australia Mite. $20 super chat. The Geeks Online are pathetic. You criticize WWE because you want it to be better. Now that there's potential for real change, why shouldn't you be happy about it and optimistic for the future? Alan, I'm not allowed to. I'm a WWE hater. I'm a paid Tony Khan shill. Apparently, I work for Tony Khan, and he's nothing but a cokehead. Says these irrelevant marks on Twitter. You ain't getting that one past me, man. Nobody's out here calling me a WWE dick rider now, man. It doesn't work that way. I can't be a WWE dick rider and an AEW dick rider. You got to choose one or the other. You ain't gonna rain on my parade here, man. This is all I want. I was negative because the shows sucked. Now that there's potential for change, now I'm a WWE cocksucker? Come on, man. Captain Solo with a $5 super chat. JD, if you had to choose one, gun to your head, you had to take either Nia Jax or Doudrop out on a date and seal the deal with a Blue Chew. Which one? Bro, this may be the most difficult question that I've ever been asked. Believe it or not, Captain Solo, I'm taking Nia Jax. I'm taking Nia Jax, bro. I don't know what else to say. Furious Nation, what's up, man? $10 super chat with a $50 super chat to follow that up, man. Thank you so very much, man. What's up, JD? What drink do you recommend tonight in the beer garden, bro? Bro, tonight I am recommending because it's the season, and it's not going to be the season for too much longer. I'm recommending Moxley's Bulldog Blueberry Ale. Fucking Captain Solo, man. I don't know. I feel like Nia Jax would be a good time out on a date, bro. I think Nia Jax would be entertaining to have dinner with, man. Plus, she's got stories, man. She'll probably talk my ear off. I'm very introverted, man. With Triple H in charge with the 50, thank you, Furious. With Triple H in charge, now I can see people like Cross and Gargano coming back. Speaking of Gargano, if he comes back, do you think Triple H will have him feud with Waller? Or do you see Triple H putting him on SmackDown? I think he goes to the main roster, bro. I think he goes to the main roster. You aren't the only one who thinks about Vic Joseph, man. Guy doesn't really do much for me, to be honest. Would you replace Vic Joseph with Nigel McGuinness? No. I don't think Nigel is a lead guy either. Thank you, Furious, with the 70. Coming in with 70 in Super Chat, brother. Thank you so much, man. And Jim Cornette with a $1.99 Super Chat, Jim Cornette. My girl asked, do you listen to Adele? Yo, Corny, listen. I don't listen to shit music, bro, okay? I don't listen to shit music, bro. You can tell your girl no. Guys, I appreciate all of you showing up tonight, man. We had almost 1,700 people, over 1,700 people at one point for the NXT post show, man. That's fucking great. Thank you guys very much, man. Number one in the community. No, I don't even have to look. I know we were number one tonight. Guys, let me see those guitar emojis in the chat. Let me see those Mustang emojis for my VIPs. I'll be back live tomorrow night with Jesse, Dynamite, Brian's Return, Moxley, Roosh, Jungle Boy. And go check out Magic Spoon, man. MagicSpoon.com. Code script at checkout. Get your $5 off. I'll see you tomorrow night for AEW Dynamite right here on OTS. See you guys later.